Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Build Jamaica series here on Transport Fever 2. Now, as you can see on screen, quite obviously, we're already into time-lapse mode. And the reason for that is just having a little play around with the format. There's been a lot of discussion on various Discord channels and videos and elsewhere about the actual length of videos and what's best, what do people prefer, and it's not conclusive. Obviously there's some people who have favourite video channels, content creators, and they'll say, "I'll make videos as long as you can and we'll watch them all." And the reality is the numbers don't actually stack up like that. If you go to any content creator on YouTube, and it doesn't matter who they are, and you look at their actual viewership, there's only a minuscule percentage who'll watch the entire video. I say minuscule, it's probably an exaggeration, but the actual viewership percentage on a video is very rarely above 50%, and it's just the way it is. And there's a lot of discussion about whether that's down to video length. Are videos just too long for people to watch? I know I have an issue with that, in that we are amidst this coronavirus lockdown. There's a lot of content creators out there who are pumping out more and more stuff. Unfortunately, I'm still working a full-time job. I am one of those that are required to work, cannot work from home, and basically I'm making sure that our business is still there at the end of it. We don't have the luxury of just closing our doors for a few months, or however long this thing's going to take. So anyway, yeah, don't want to go too much into that beyond saying that, yeah, we're just going to try this format. Be interesting to hear kind of you guys' thoughts on video length and whether you enjoy this new format or not. So let me know down in the comments and we'll look into it. If people do prefer the shorter length and it does work out schedule wise for me, I may actually introduce a second video so we don't lose out overall on time. So we may have our usual Sunday evening slot and one during the week as well. But anyway, discussing what we're seeing on screen, let's get into actually what we're doing here. There wasn't too much feedback on towns, what other people's preferences were. So we're going to add a couple of townships into this route here. The first of which is what you're seeing here now. And look at that, right on target, Buff Bay. Now I was just looking to add the train in to Buff Bay, using the wrong route and station there. But there you see, so now Buff Bay is on our passenger route. Or at least will be when I get the routing right. There we have it. So yeah, I'm kind of a fan of these little self-made things. The town plopper, as said in previous videos, it just makes them too big, really, I feel. Okay, when zoomed out we can't see the name of this little township, which is a shame. But overall, I think the look, the aesthetic is right. And if that works, then that's all I'm really worried about, to be honest. And as you can see, all these buildings, they do have population allocated to them, so they will spawn people. And people will use the town. People will use the trains. People will use the shops we put in this little township. I think the hardest thing about doing this, though, is you can see that one on hill. I believe I go back and delete that afterwards. Is they just do not sit right. So you have to kind of manipulate the terrain yourself. You don't have the game to aid you. But of course, when you're plopping these townships, they will not grow in game at all. You have to fabricate them entirely yourself, which, you know, I don't mind. It's a bit of detailing work for us. A little bit of fun. There you go, just another bit of smooth in there. There we go. Deleting that one. Start looking for something a bit more suitable. Still getting used to the naming procedure that particular asset has. Because it has sort of residential 1, and then it'll have a size allocated to it, and then there's numbers at the end. Obviously the numbers are different variations on that size. The number at the start is number of floors in it, so is it a single story building, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Right now I couldn't manipulate the train how I wanted it for that side of the station, so I figured I'd just build a wooden kind of platform over this side, but again, I'm not sure what it was, but I just couldn't get the height to work for me there. So anyway, here we go, moving on to our second township. Pretty much rinse and repeat the first one, so I'm not going to give you a commentary all through this. I'm just going to sit back, let the music play, and let you watch along. So guys, here we see, just returning to our first township here, just adding a few more buildings. Now I know they're off centre, I'm aware of that, and do you know what, they're going to stay like it. I know there's going to be OCD people watching who are like, oh, you can't leave them like that, they've got to be centred to the road. And in reality, they wouldn't be. They wouldn't be perfectly squared off. If I had wooden buildings, believe me, I'd be using them right now. These are kind of the smallest dwellings we have in the game that I know of, asset-wise anyway. So they're going to be used. You see, just plopping some more trees. I was surprised actually, I thought I'd covered enough of the island in trees already in earlier videos, in between videos, but evidently not. Still a lot of kind of areas that don't have trees. Now we do have some farmland going up north here, and that will happen. And now you just see it's putting in a link road. A simple dirt track. I know the game will probably build along there at some point, and that's fine. Eventually it actually links the two towns up. I'm cool with that as well. Although I'm not sure whether the game will do that. Right now you see us moving on to a new project once I finish smoothing. And essentially just looking at how we're going to get machines into Port Antonio. My first thought was to build a harbour at Port Antonio. The name kind of suggests that. Then I thought we'd do it here at Onoto Bay instead, and then it gives us a reason to use our cargo station there and transport trains, which means more money generation, hopefully, and it means more trains. And who doesn't enjoy more trains? So, rolling down here, surprisingly, I hadn't put a dock in here at Montego Bay. Which here you see, now that's finally being rectified. Do go for a bit of a bigger one here. Something more established. Fortunately we do have to lose a building there. Now I couldn't get that building to rotate for love nor money at the start there. Now when I built in Kingston it was almost so easy to get it to flip-flop. I don't know whether something's changed in the game since then, but it just didn't want to do it. And likewise the roads did not want to play ball here, as you can see. I wanted right angled turns, the game wouldn't give it. There's our roads in. Just checking the station can reach the harbour, and then we get to putting our boats in. I almost went with large ships and then remembered, of course, Onoto Bay's not kind of built for the bigger ones. There in goes our route. We are sort of coming up to the end of this time-lapse period now. You can see us putting in our train to link Onoto Bay to Port Antonio. And the name for this train comes from a request from one of our subscribers, David White, and he said right there, it's White. He did request the name Elron, and he has another request which will come in a few seconds in the live stream. If you have any requests, just pop them down in the comments, I'll pick them up and you can have the train all of your own. As I say, we're coming to the end of the time lapse now, so we'll move into the normal time period at the end and wrap this video up. So here we are. As I say, we're going to wrap this up now. Normal speed. We have Kiana there, just dropping off passengers here at Snow Hill and progressing on. Now, if we bring up our train list, just trains, thank you. Oh, so we do actually have all of our trains named, which means we need to place a new one. Now, I don't think we're able to make any more of these kind of things at the moment. Oh, Spring Garden needs. Ooh. That's interesting. So Spring Garden also needs our machines. What about we add another train in? Let's have a look at our locomotives. I think we're going to come in with a bold win for this. Just because we only need a couple of cars of capacity for this one. And this is going to be named Phil, after David's Aunt Phil. That is second of his request. As I say, I'm happy to honour any requests that are made for names. Pop them in, let me know, and we'll get them in game. So we're going to go from Nato Bay into Spring Garden with that one. And this is going to be our car. Spring Garden machines. Like so. Anyway, let's just have a look at what we've added in. Firstly, we have our little kind of township here. Oh, so that's interesting. The station is longer than the train. I'm okay with that though. Don't think the trains will get any longer than 3 carriages running down here. Oh, that's a concern. People trying to come out their back doors. We will have a look at that and change that after this. Is that 2 buildings? No, that is just 1 building. Okay. Yeah, we have our first little township here. Oh, we've got a train waiting. It's quite a long run through there, to be fair. While we're here, we'll just have a look at our little docks here. Nothing too fancy, just a small cargo dock. As you can see, that does reach into our station. So the cargo will kind of flow through here, land up here, and make its way on the train down into Port Antonio. And the next thing we'll need to do, of course, is get our trucks to deliver it, or horses as it is at the moment, into the relevant areas. So we will do that. For now, let's just take a quick peek at this second town. Do love this market with the kind of walled-in area. Just, yeah, that's a great asset. I believe it is a vanilla one, and someone's ported it out and made it into a ploppable asset. And we have our 2 trains running. Can't wait for us to unlock new cargo wagons. No, is he Stephen Lewis? He's going to an industrial building. So of course, these little towns we plot, they don't have industry, so it encourages people to travel. Ah, so he's actually going to work in Richmond. That's quite an impressive thing. He's not just nipping to Anato Bay, Port Antonio, Spring Garden. He's going that far. I like that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this video up. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, you know what to do. Hit that like button. If you haven't, let me know in the comments how it can be improved, and we'll look into that for future videos. And I guess that's pretty much all there is to say on this. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Let me know all your comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.